Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy J. Chuck with Queen Bee Creations. Thanks for tuning in today. Now we are going to be working on this. I thrifted this little box, which is just kind of super cute. But in particular because I want to do a little talking about paint and wax. I get asked a lot about gee, can I paint over wax? Or, oh, I've been told the last thing you do is wax. You can never paint over it. And, you know, not always true. So I thought of this with another video that I just did where I specifically had wet wax and I was using it as a resist, and I thought, okay, I better talk about this because I answer so many questions about it. It'll make my life easier if I just refer them to this video. So Annie Sloan, in fact, has a video out about her wet wax technique, which is, again, exactly what I'm going to show you. And I don't know why people don't make this connection when there's so many people out there that are using candle wax as a way of distressing your piece, right? You paint it, you take some candle, rub it in areas that you want to distress, and you know, your next paint layer goes on. It makes it so much easier to be able to chip it, distress it, etc. And in essence, that's the same thing. Wax has oil in it. So when you're adding a water-based paint over top of it, the wax is going to resist the paint. So typically we don't paint over wet wax because of that. We're not going to get a smooth coat. But we can certainly do it when we're not looking to get a smooth coat. We can use that wax resist deliberately. And that's what I want to show you on this little box today. So we're going to be doing a bunch of layers. So my first paint layer, I am going to be using red. I'm going to use DIY Marquee, and I am going to get this painted out. I'm going to try and avoid painting the black rims, so the little leather banding, but I'm going to paint everything else. So this is kind of plugged up, this container, so I'm just going to be using it kind of weird here. But this is a nice bright red, and we're just going to get, you know, I'm just going to get one coat of paint on this because I'm going to be doing a number of coats. I think on Annie's video, she just does one color over top of the wax. We're going to do some multiples, right? So we're going to do multiple layers. And in essence, then, each subsequent layer is really thin, and we will see other colors peeking through. So as you're building your colors up, just have that in mind. Which colors, you know, are going to shine through? How do they complement each other? Do they go with my decor? Do I like them? That's it. It's not rocket science. Okay, I look a little sweaty, still hot from my workout, but this is all dry. Now, if you've used DIY paint or probably a chalk paint, if you didn't tape off your areas and there's some that you'd like to clean up, this is your chance to do it, to take a wet cloth. And I'm just looking to see, there's a couple of little spots on mine. So just take a wet cloth and you can just rub them away. And you want to do this now because our next step is wax, and wax is a sealer. So it's going to help seal our paint, in which case, and I can live with the rest is good. Okay, so first step, we are going to apply our wax, and we're going to put that all over our painted surface. So no magic to that. We just want the wax all over, and that's going to seal up our red paint. It's also going to serve as a resist. So, you know, if we let this dry onto our piece, then, you know, if we dropped a little bit of water on it, we'd see the water kind of ball up because the wax is resisting it. We're going to use that as part of the finish. So I'm gonna get this all waxed. You don't need to watch me do all of that. And then I'll come back at you for the next step. What we are not going to do is apply our wax and then leave it for a couple of hours. We do not want this wax to dry, and I am not wiping back my excess. So I'm being generous with the wax. I'm not leaving big globs of it on there, right? But I'm also, normally I would wipe this back. I'm not gonna do that. So a little bit different than if we were just using this as a finishing wax. I have all my wax on there, and you can see, I mean, this is a super cute little container. It looks good as it is. It would have looked good if we'd done a little bit of black stenciling on there and then done the wax, but that's not the technique we were doing. My next coat, I'm going turquoise. I'm using, you know what, because sometimes you just gotta have fun. If you can't try some of the fun things on small little items, I mean, this I thrifted, I think after my discount, I paid $5. So I mess it up, I'm not crying, right? If I did this on a big antique piece of furniture, I would still paint over it, so it's not ruined from the standpoint of I could still do things to fix it, but it would be a lot more effort that I'm gonna have to redo. So what we're gonna do, and I'm not doing a lot of paint here because I want it super wet, and I'd rather add a little bit more as I go. All right, so I want the paint to be pretty loose, and that helps the resist. And what I'm gonna do is I am just going to paint my piece. Now, can you see already that my piece is resisting that paint? See, it's all bubbling up, it's all balling up, I guess, not bubbling. So it's all kind of going into bubbles. It's all resisting that paint. And that's what we want. Now, if you have a highly textured piece to start with, you're gonna have a lot more of this paint sticking down into it, right? But you're just gonna paint this and then take a clean cloth. And in this case, I would just dab. So I'm getting, right? So you can see here, there's some turquoise, there's no turquoise. And we're building up, because what I can do is I can add more layers to this. Now, if I think that it's too watery, and I think mine's a little too watery, which is why this is coming up right now, just add a little bit more paint. Okay? Mix it around. This is always a bit of experimentation in terms of how loose or not to make it, because it really depends upon the texture of your piece. So here it's sticking a little bit more because it's not quite as loose as it was. And then you're gonna just wipe it back a little bit. And you could wipe it entirely. If your piece is more textured, you may want to do that. Mine is not very textured, but you can go back and you can add more paint in where you need it. So I'm gonna do this over the entire piece, and then I'm gonna let it dry before we move on. Now, in Annie Sloan's demo, this was it. She was finished at this stage. She just did the one. You know, gotta do a little more because that's who we are. So I'm gonna carry on and do some more layers, and I'll show you what that's about, okay? So I wanna get this layer on and see what it looks like before I carry on. with thinking about any other layers. Now that this is all dried, and bear in mind, this looks a lot lighter than it will when it's sealed again, which you're going to see in a second. Down at the very bottom of the barrel here on my wax, but I'm going to wax it again. So we're going to get this all waxed again, and then we're going to come back with our next color. What I didn't want, because that turquoise is so light, I didn't want it to just wash away. So I just want to put on a light coating of wax just to seal that in, prevent it from going anywhere, and that can serve as a resist for our next layer. All right, now that I've got that wet waxed and just really quick and light, you can see, you know what, some little splotchy areas. I'm okay with that. So, you know what? Some things you have to be very picky about. You're baking a very delicate cake. Follow the instructions, measure things out. This, not so much. So I have copper patina, pennies from heaven, from DIY. I'm just taking a little bit. I still have my dirty turquoise water. That's okay. And I'm just going to loosen this up. So this is maybe 50-50. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to brush this over the top. You can see that I've got some resistance happening. That's awesome. And then I'm going to go back in and dab it after. You can dab, you can wipe, whatever you want to do. Oh, I like it with the metallic. And me being me, I'll probably do something else after this. I'm thinking a little black wax. It doesn't take long for that copper to dry. It's a top coat, it's a patina. I'm really liking this kind of mottled texture. It's really cool. The last thing that I want to do though is I do want to add some black wax. Now, this is not dark wax is brown. This is black, so it's pretty intense. But I think that again, around our hardware, we can add some dark wax. I mean, the black wax, we can add a little bit more shading with it around all of our edges. And I just use a really cheap, rough brush for this. So this is just dollar store brushes, nothing fancy. Don't use a good one. And I'm just gonna go around and kind of add some of that darkened patina you can see and hear. Just a little bit of that shading. I've got a little cloth if I want to just kind of blend it out a little bit. Now this is got wax on it, right? We put the wax before we put the copper, so it's not kind of an unfinished surface at all, but we're just adding a little bit more layering, and definitely around our hardware. Just get to add more of that in around there. This is the fun part. I love doing this. I love adding dark wax and black wax to things. It's just adds just so much more dimension, just that shading. You can see this is a little bit flat. You can see that shading just kind of adds to it and ages it a little bit. So I'm just going to carry on with this and continue playing. And I'll come back to you and show you the finished product. I think you get the idea now. But, you know, you can see some of the blue popping through, definitely the red. You can see some of the copper, but you could continue to layer this. And I think it would be super cool to do this technique going tone on tone on tone on tone, going lighter each time. So starting with a dark tone and then doing lighter and adding in just more and more lighter shades of the same tone. I think that, okay, I may have to try that. I'm liking that idea. And that's how a lot of these ideas come, right? Is you do one thing and then you think, oh, you know, I think it would be super cool if we tried. So as you're watching, you're thinking, oh, but what if she had done, well, then that's yours. That's yours to try, right? So I'm gonna carry on and then I'll come back when we're finished, when we got this done. But oh my goodness, I love that. And I'll do some close-ups for you. I dropped in a couple of pics, close-up pics, so that you could see the kind of texture that this technique gives to the piece. This, you know, didn't have a really smooth surface, but it wasn't particularly rough. And yet now it looks like it's heavily textured. You see different, you know, some of the different colors starting to pop through. So imagine this if you did a bunch of really light layers of different colors. What look would that give you? Or a bunch of different metallics, or like I said before, the tone on tone going lighter. I mean, there's so many possibilities. And you know, when people say you can never paint over wet wax, you now know that's not true. It just depends upon the look that you're after. And I hope that if anything, this gives you some food for thought and maybe a little bit of permission to play a little bit with your paint and your wax. Take a look at your local thrift stores to find something that you can just kind of inexpensively make over and try this technique out. If you do, let me know what you think. Until next time, you guys take care.